Is the autopilot feature in the EVs foolproof? People have always been sceptical about it. However, since no one has ever found a life-threatening issue with it, no one has brought the risk factor up. But now it seems Tesla is being blamed. An Indian national, Sakshi Agarwal, was out with her Tesla 3 on March 22, 2022. It was around 6:30 AM. Around the same time, another lady named Nicola Lagos, a nurse, was waiting to board a tram. She stepped onto the road while anxiously waiting for the tram. Sakshi, who seemed to be totally out of it, hit her and fled the scene as it all happened in a jiffy. But was Sakshi in a hurry or simply speeding up for fun? Well, whatever the reason was, she wasn't ready to face the consequences. The crash occurred on Waters Tree Road in Armadale, and it being the inner suburb of Melbourne, she could get off easily. Nurse Nicola Lagos, who was 26 at the time, was put in a medically induced coma for 2 weeks. Also, she suffered serious injuries after being hit by a car going 58 kilometers an hour and thrown 10 meters while getting on a tram. The tram driver and other passengers heard a loud bang. Sakshi saw Miss Lagos thrown into the air as high as the stop sign. Sakshi told investigators that it was dark on the morning of the crash. She supposedly switched on the car's autopilot, expecting it to handle the braking. Agarwal claimed that Miss Lagos jumped in front of the car, making it too late for the autopilot system to detect her or for Agarwal to brake. Police looked at the Tesla's data and found the problem with Agarwal's story. The autopilot wasn't turned on 30 seconds before the crash. The car also detected a pedestrian and gave alerts about a possible collision. The police stated there was no evidence that Agarwal used the brake, and the data showed that she sped up to 78 kilometers an hour right after the crash. Defence barrister Mr. Nick Pappas admitted that Agarwal lied to the police about using the autopilot feature. He explained that she was trying to make sense of her actions and explain the unexplainable. CCTV footage showed the luxury car overtaking several vehicles before getting stuck behind a busy tram. Agarwal then tried to pass the tram, which is when the accident happened. In Victoria, drivers must stay behind a tram when it slows down to let passengers on or off. Drivers can only pass a tram slowly once the door is closed and there are no pedestrians on the road. Mr. Pappas mentioned that drivers should slow down when approaching a tram in a 60 km/h zone, and Agarwal did not do this. Courts heard about long-term effects on victim. In an emotional statement, Miss Lagos talked about her confusion when she woke up in the hospital. She was unable to remember the crash. She said the incident left her with permanent disabilities, including brain damage. Before the accident, Miss Lagos used to go to the gym 6 days a week and was training for a marathon. Now she has a minimal social life, low self-confidence, and can't concentrate for more than an hour. She said that life without dreams is grim, and there's nothing to work towards. Every time she passes a car or sees a tram, she's reminded of the accident. She said that every time she sees a car or tram, it's a reminder of what happened to her. Prosecutor Lauren Gurney mentioned that Agarwal wasn't paying attention while driving. CCTV footage shows the tram's indicator lights flashing and Agarwal's Tesla following at a high speed. Miss Gurney explained that there was a high risk of a collision because the tram was stopping. Agarwal spent 2 years contesting charges of dangerous driving, causing serious injury and failing to stop. However, she changed her plea to guilty just before a county court trial was set to start last week. The charge of dangerous driving has a maximum sentence of 5 years in jail, while failing to stop could lead up to 10 years in jail. Judge Peter Rosen told Agarwal she failed to stop and help the injured person, which she should have done by law and out of basic decency, according to the Herald Sun. Instead, she sped up to about 78 kilometers an hour and drove for around 3 kilometers before parking in Epping Street, Malvern. There, she called her housemate and boyfriend, saying she was scared and didn't know what to do. The judge mentioned that Agarwal's dangerous driving was not due to being distracted, but it was a mistake in judgment when she decided to pass the tram before it had stopped. He turned down the defence lawyer's request for a community service order. What she did after made him believe that she needed a prison sentence, and the prosecutor also pointed out the same. He mentioned that the courts needed to send a clear message to all drivers, especially young people like Agarwal. Agarwal, who lost her security job because of her actions, had wanted to become a permanent resident in Australia. But now, after serving her jail sentence, she could face deportation. Her driver's licence has been cancelled and she won't be able to get another one for 4 years. She was sentenced to 9 months in prison for a hit and run. In the end, she admits that Tesla's autopilot was not at fault for the accident. The 9-month sentence includes 4 months for dangerous driving and 7 months for failing to stop. 2 months of the dangerous driving charge will be served along with the failing to stop charge. Meanwhile, this isn't the first time something like this has happened. There has been a preceding incident where the driver tried to blame Tesla's autopilot for the crash. They might have felt that would fetch him an exit ticket from the issue. The driver event went to a great extent to even go for a trial. So did Tesla win? Did they prove autopilot was not to blame? So this is how it went on. Tesla won its first US trial over claims its autopilot feature caused the death. This is a big win for Tesla, especially as it faced other lawsuits and federal investigations about the same technology. This verdict is Tesla's second major in 2023, where juries have found its software not defective. Tesla continues to test and roll out its autopilot and full self-driving systems. CEO Elon Musk says they are crucial for the company's future, but they have faced regulatory and legal challenges. The civil court outcome shows that Tesla's argument is gaining support, and that accidents happen because the drivers mostly, and they are ultimately responsible. In Riverside County Superior Court, a lawsuit claimed that the autopilot system caused Mikhail Lee's Model 3 to suddenly veer off a highway east of Los Angeles at 65 miles per hour. The car then hit a palm tree and caught fire, all in just a few seconds. The 2019 crash killed Lee and severely injured his two passengers, including an 8-year-old boy who was badly hurt. The trial featured disturbing details about the injuries, and the plaintiff sought $400 million plus additional damages. Tesla denied responsibility, claiming Lee had consumed alcohol before driving. The company also urged that it wasn't clear if autopilot was active during the crash. The 12-member jury decided that the vehicle did not have a manufacturing defect. The verdict was reached on the fourth day of deliberations, with a 9-3 vote. Jonathan Michaels, an attorney for the plaintiff, was disappointed with the verdict. However, he also stated that Tesla was pushed to its limits during the trial. This trial is likely to be the first of its kind about autopilot and could be important for future lawsuits. Last year, it was revealed that the US Department of Justice is investigating Tesla's self-driving claims. In 2021, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, looked into autopilot after several crashes with parked emergency vehicles. California's Department of Motor Vehicles has also accused Tesla of making false claims about its autopilot and more costly full self-driving features. However, Tesla had to recall nearly 363,000 vehicles with FSD after the NHTSA called it a crash risk. The company plans to send out over-the-air software updates to fix these issues, but we can't say that Tesla is out of trouble yet. A report pointing out autopilot concerns was released, and this one has sent shockwaves across the industry. A new report reveals that Tesla's autopilot was involved in at least 13 fatal crashes. Federal regulators say Tesla's system lacked basic safety features found in other brands' driver assistance technologies. They're now questioning if recent updates to autopilot will be enough to prevent future accidents. The report says these crashes led to 14 deaths and 49 injuries. Many of the accidents happened when hazards were visible for 5 seconds or more, which should have given attentive drivers enough time to avoid the crash. One example is a March 2023 accident in North Carolina, where a Model Y hit a teenager getting off a school bus. The report suggests an attentive driver could have avoided or lessened the crash. California regulations have accused Tesla of false advertising for making it seem like its cars could drive themselves. Do you think Tesla should really consider the autopilot feature? Do you think it's risky? Let us know what you think in the comment box. Smash that like and subscribe button to watch more.